Medic 911 Westmore.
9-1. Fall flowers mark the spot
Be advised, we just been involved in an auto accident
where a life was taken
301 in Ridge confirming.
at this King George intersection.
An accident just happened right in front of us.
Witnesses capture the tense moments.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
After troopers say a Westmoreland County ambulance collided with two other vehicles, injuring multiple people and killing 64-year-old Rita Davis. Her son, Teddy Fry, watched from a distance, fearing for his parents who were inside this van.
Seen that truck folded up on the driver's side, and I seen the windshield cracked and stuff. I said, oh man. Once I seen that van, I said, oh, my mom's hurt, bad.
Going at a high rate of speed. They felt the unit start to tip, and then all of a sudden they struck something, and they stopped and leveled back out.
This Westmoreland advanced life support provider, who has asked us to conceal his identity, describes what his colleagues say they experienced prior to the collision while working on a critically ill patient in the back of this ambulance.
Priority 1 transport is lights and sirens, imminent life threat.
But on the evening of September 17th, he
But I know 100% there was no siren.
and witnesses say the ambulance did not have its siren activated when entering into this intersection.
Internally, I have heard firsthand that there were no sirens on, that the lights were activated, lights were on, but that no sirens were on and the vehicle did not slow down or stop before entering the intersection.
The Virginia State Police confirmed they are investigating that claim, and if it proves to be true, that would be a violation of Ashley's Law, which requires emergency vehicles to have both their lights and siren on or else yield to traffic when they have a red light. It would also be a violation of Westmoreland County's intersection navigation policy that in part states the emergency vehicle shall come to a full stop before entering a negative right-of-way intersection, blind intersection, or any intersection where hazards are present and or the driver cannot account for all oncoming traffic lanes.
He should not have been driving because he was not released to drive by himself. One of the two people in the back needed to be up there with him if he was going to be driving.
Our whistleblower says his colleague, who CBS 6 confirms had only been with the department for 1 month at the time of the crash, was being trained, meaning he says he should not have been alone in the front of the unit. And he also says that's not the only violation that occurred on that tragic day.
We have a chief that responds lights and sirens to that accident that night. And we learned that he did not have a valid emergency vehicle operator's card.
Under the Freedom of Information Act, CBS 6 obtained hundreds of pages of documents. They confirmed that Westmoreland Department of Emergency Services Chief Jeff Beasley and at least 22 other providers had expired emergency vehicle operator course or EVOC certifications under the agency's policy.
That was a kind of a blow.
According to these records, the chief's certification had been expired for 6 months at the time of the accident, and some in the department had been without a valid certification from months to up to 20 years. According to the department's driving training policy, all drivers must provide a valid EVOC to the agency every 5 years. Since our inquiry, the majority of providers have taken a refresher course and are now up to date with the agency. What is your motivation for talking?
I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not disgruntled. I love Westmoreland County. It's very frustrating to be a part of a department that does not train.
Affirmative.
This absolutely could have been prevented if we had a clear-cut process, I guess, for our providers to know how we do things.
And he says if they did, he feels this family may not be suffering the loss of a partner, mother, and grandmother.
The county does have blood on their hands. We work to help people and to save lives, not to take them.
He provided CBS 6 with the following statement that reads, Westmoreland County officials are saddened by the loss of life resulting from the September 17, 2018 accident involving our ambulance while transporting a critically ill patient. We are continuing our investigation into both this unfortunate incident of our own internal processes so that we can provide the best possible emergency care to our citizens. CBS 6 also reached out to the Virginia Department of Health. They say that the Regulation and Compliance Division of the Office of EMS is aware of the incident and will review the findings once the Virginia State Police investigation is complete. Meanwhile, the King George Commonwealth's attorney says she is also awaiting the completion of that investigation before a determination can be made on possible charges. And guys, we have confirmed that there is an internal review going on and that staff was informed of temporary suspension that we talked about in an email yesterday. Beasley is still with the department while this investigation occurs. And our whistleblower frankly just says that this really affected those people in that ambulance, and he's concerned because he feels that they were set up to fail, and he worries that something like this could happen again.